next one essential.
When the first like kickers came out and the first just beat makers in general came out, it really revolutionized everything. And then with the whole concept of like being with a group without a group, I mean, you just started hearing vocalists do different vocals, everybody's mixing differently, and then sampling came too. Man, they just like changed up the way the sounds were put out to the public and what the labels could do with it.
Yeah, I mean, who do you credit the change of music to? Do you credit it more towards the DJs, the producers, or towards the rappers?
The audience.
Yeah.
Because if it wants for the if it's not for the audience that's listening, then why would anybody even promote or put any money behind any of these artists?
Yeah, big labels, right? Yeah,
big
like the artists will always do it.
I mean, it's a domino effect. I feel.
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to, because the producers and the DJs, after they see the performance and the reactions when they're up in their studio, they're thinking about what's going to be that next hit. That's just what it comes down to, is what's going to be that next hit. And then when they find out artists that can appreciate what that craft that they just put into that sound, then that's when we start seeing the revolutions that we have today.
Well, I mean, yeah, and then you also get now where before, back in the day, right? Like, you would have to send a letter or some shit, or you'd just appear at their concerts, be like, yo, I love this artist. That's how, like, the AR Man and everybody else would be like, oh, like, this person's hot, right? Mm-hmm. Like Kanye, before he even began his entire Kanye thing, like, he was someone who lived in, like, Newark, New Jersey, had, like, a suitcase full of his mixtapes and was just, like, selling it through that, right? Mm-hmm. Like, but now you look at when he was big and you look at how everybody like Sugar Hill and how they became big, you can see where it's just like not that many artists were huge, right? Yeah, like compared to now where it's almost every week you have a new artist that comes out that's huge, that everybody's loving it. Then the next week they're gone, someone else replaced them. Mm-hmm. And it's because, again, like technology, the more we get advanced, now we have a better way of the consumer communicating to the artist, communicating to people who actually put money behind that artist. I feel it.
Yep, that's how it goes most of the time. I mean, nowadays too, it's evolved into like having a whole budget surrounded around your audience and what that can do for an artist and producers, labels. I mean, the budget is there now, the ideas are there, everything's come all full circle in a way. And, and it's still going. I mean, it hasn't stopped evolving. Like we said, we're only like, 40 years deep into the game?
Yeah. And they're pushing, like, just music in so many different ways. Now you have rap being some of the front runners for movies and stuff like that. Like, you had the Black Panther album by, who did it? Kendrick did it.
What was that boxer one, too?
Kendrick. Creed, right?
Creed.
Something like that. Yeah. They're putting them in. I mean, the fact that they're putting them in movies now, like heavily, is incredible too. Because then you're just broadening the audience as well. It
went from not having a chart to being on the movies and all these charts.
I mean, now it's like the biggest thing on the planet. Yeah. Like it's number one across the planet.
It really is. It doesn't get any bigger than this.
Yeah.
You see Mars. These rappers that can go to Europe right now and just kill it like a motherfucker out there. No issues whatsoever. And a lot of them make, I think, more of a bag over there, at least especially artists who are just starting. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You see a lot of artists who just start go straight to Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like in Europe it's saturated as much as it is over here in the U.S., and that's why artists it's almost like the NBA, where it's like, I'm done with the NBA, I'm just going to go to like Europe or Lithuania to play basketball, because you're going to get in anyways.
Yeah, they're more, it seems like it's welcoming over there. It's interesting how it works, because I've gone on my way to listen to different artists from different countries, and me not being able to completely understand what they're saying because they're speaking their native language, I still am able to enjoy what they've created, because they see they saw hip hop just as we did grow and become this new sound that wasn't getting the recognition that it properly deserved. Mm-hmm. And there's some artists around globally that are just
Fire.
that just don't that only are recognized in their native country, because that's really where they're only able to get that exposure from. But you know, it's cool though that you know, we see the rappers here from our country able to get that exposure and get that welcoming, and because you would think it would be more exclusive, you know, over in other countries, because they already got great artists that do the same.
Yeah, well, technology really helps spread the word more. I mean, just as it's helped artists hear about rap outside of this country, I think it's also helping introduce new artists in like from the country and out of the country, and you know, back and forth. So yeah, I mean, it's eventually gonna reach everywhere.
Yeah.
Mix 1 Essential.